I think it's very important right now to educate those next generation of the people in the fashion industry and to shape this fashion industry.
Day-to-day usable, consumable, and tool to identify yourself and differentiate yourself from the crowd is the wearable, is digital fashion, and this is why it's going super fast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of NEWFORUM, where we bring you awesome creators, founders, visionaries, and investors on our Web3 podcast. And I guess we all know the problem of wanting a new outfit, wanting some new pictures, but not knowing what to wear. And today we have Julian and Olga here from DRESSX, who are going to walk me through the solution of digital fashion. And they're going to talk about the new projects they're building with DRESSX, sustainability, and why you really should consider choosing digital fashion over physical. Hi, Julian. Hi, Olga. I'm happy to have you on today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Could you walk me through the journey of how DRESSX came to life and what was the vision? We'd love to know that.
Yeah, let me take this question. So the founders of DRESSX are Daria Shapovalov and Natalia Madanova, and they have been in the fashion industry for quite a long time, more than 10 years. And what they started to see in last years before the COVID, that people are coming to the shops, they're buying fashion items, and then they return the items back to the shop. So they started to have the understanding that probably people are not need so much clothes, but they need the tool, the source for the content creation. So what they did before the COVID, they tested this pop-up store in Beverly Hills, when they created a place where people were able to come, try different outfits and create a content. There were different booths where they could use different environment and create different photos or videos. And in the end, what was the thing they were buying for? It was those photos and those videos they created in this space. And it worked incredibly well. So the theory is that nowadays there are certain people who are content creators and who has to address to their communities, to their followers. They need some source of the content creation. And they wanted to go with that direction with the pop-up stores, but it was the COVID time. We were all sitting at homes, and they rethink this idea of a product which allows people to create the content. So the digital fashion as it wasn't something which was invented like 2 years ago in the times of COVID. Digital fashion was here with us for some time, and we can start talking about skins in the gaming environment. But to bring it into this surface and to propose that as a source of the content creation, for example, this is how DRESSX was started. We proposed the solution, the alternative solution for the influencers to create the content using not the physical items, not to go out from their homes, not to buy new clothes, but using their old photos and elevate those old photos with new digital fashion. So this is how DRESSX was created. And I'm one of the first, except the founder members, which includes our head of product, Julie, one of the first members who joined the team. I'm responsible for the sustainability part because it's one of the things which we are conscious about. And yeah, this is this is the introduction of DRESSX.
Yeah, Olga, while we're on this topic, you're talking about you being the head of sustainability, and I'm wondering what are the benefits and what is your work consist of? I would love to know what do you look at when you look at the app.
Yeah, so when I joined the team, my first task was to understand how we can measure the environmental footprint from the digital fashion. We understand that the environmental footprint of the production of digital items is going to be much less than the physical items, but how can we measure this much less? So I created the methodology which allows us to calculate this environmental footprint. So using this methodology, I can calculate the carbon footprint emission from the production of the digital goods. And what I'm doing the comparison if this item has been produced physically or it has been produced digitally. And thus I have the difference, the carbon foot saving by switching to the digital items. The same is with water. So on the production of the digital items, we don't use any water. However, in the production of the physical goods, we need water, like, for example, 3,000 liters to create a very simple cotton t-shirt, or about 7,000 liters to create a pair of jeans, to produce the pair of jeans. So this is the second parameter which we are using. And then, of course, there is an environmental, the physical waste in the end of the life of the physical goods. However, with the digital items, you just archive your photo on your drive or on your cloud. So we are avoiding the items to end up on the landfill. And most of our clothes right now contains polyester, which is basically plastic, which doesn't degrade, doesn't disappear. It just creates very small pieces of microplastics, which enters the ocean. So with digital fashion, we avoid all these in the end of the life of the items. And on my daily basis, what I'm doing is basically I calculate and trace all our production, all our carbon footprint from the production, also the water savings, and I report that on quarterly basis to our investors and to the community. Everyone who's interested in our annual sustainability reports, which I also issue every year, they can go to the DRESSX website, to the part sustainability. And this year, this summer, I worked together with BCG, Boston Consulting Group, and Vogue, and we conducted a study about the displacement rate analysis. So that means we try to measure how digital fashion in any ways, skins, wearable NFTs, digital items, digital wearables, displace the physical items. You can see the sneak peek in the report with BCG has issued, but the full report will be issued in the annual sustainability report in the end of this year.
Wow, I love the work you're doing, and I feel like it's so, when you buy clothes, you don't really realize what is all behind it, but if you actually have the facts and you actually have the comparison, the work that you're doing is awesome, I think, and then people can really realize, okay, we're really doing a harm to the planet and we really need an alternative as a creator and as a fashion lover. Julian, I would also love to hear from your side, how you came to DRESSX and what you're currently doing.
Yes, of course. And thank you all for all these great introductions. So I'm the head of growth at DRESSX, and my focus is on our mobile application for AR wearables and our NFT marketplace. So what is DRESSX currently focusing on at the moment? We established ourselves as the leading actor in this digital fashion industry. And this industry is quite new. It's a 2-year-old plus industry, but it's been growing super fast. We saw last year the first Metaverse Fashion Week. Early this year, the first Metaverse Fashion Week that was hosted in Decentraland. We saw 100,000 plus unique attendees, about 100 different brands participating. Then we saw other metaverses doing fashion weeks, the Sandbox, the Somium, and a real increase in adoption for users with the digital fashion industry and digital goods and wearables in general. So our focus has been to build what we've trademarked as the Meta Closet, and see DRESSX, Meta Closet, and DRESSX solution as the virtual queen of what will be your suitcase in the physical world. The same way you can take this white top that you're wearing right now, put it in a suitcase, bring it to London, bring it to Paris, bring it to Tokyo, and wear it everywhere you go. You should be able to do the same with your digital item. Like the hat I'm wearing right now, I should be able to wear it when I'm on my Zoom call, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, in Decentraland, in the Somium, or wherever I go in a virtual environment. And this is where the Meta Closet by DRESSX comes into play. We have established and distributed different pipeline of assets production in multiple virtual environments. And we've learned how to integrate our virtual assets there. So we become a pipeline for brands and for creators to place their digital collections in the right place and for the collectors and the users and the creators of this world to find the right place and the right item. So that was our main focus. And then we also super grateful to see this increase now in digital fashion adoption. We saw multiple use cases working with various brands in various environments. We've been learning a lot from working with brands. We had great partnership with Bershka recently, Coke, but also more like tech companies than fashion companies. We work with Meta, we work with Snapchat, and these companies are getting into this industry as well, digital fashion, via wearables, which is super surprising because it's not a place for fashion creators only, but it's a place for everybody. Because in this virtual environment, the only way to engage and connect with users, not the only way, but like the best way is digital fashion. Because you can try to engage with Lens, but it's hard and it's higher cost. You can engage with games, like with avatars, but day-to-day usable, consumable, and tool to identify yourself and differentiate yourself from the crowd is the wearable, is digital fashion, and this is why it's growing super fast. And of course, the new technology are getting also like better. We see better augmented reality tech. We see better VR tech. We see better virtual worlds, and the more this tech is growing, the more it is adopted, the better it is for all of us here. And we're also super excited about what's happening right now.
Yeah, I gotta congratulate you guys because the hat looks amazing and it's also moving. And I feel like from the beginning of seeing digital fashion, there's such a huge spike already in quality increase and how it looks on you. And I think it's really, like you said, creators and fashion lovers, they want something else to create and they want to express themselves differently. And I think that's where digital fashion can be super valuable. And what are the kind of like challenges right now that you see with adapting to digital fashion? Like, is it working with these tech companies? Is it working with the fashion world? Like, what are the challenges you guys face?
I think that first of all, we have to educate the users, the customers. Even though the digital fashion has been here for 2 years, it's still something very new, and it covers still the very small community of people who are aware what is it. So we have to educate the customers more and more. This is first. And the brands as well. If we want to have the massive adoption of the technology, we have to educate the brands and explain how does it work. And maybe if the off-chain part, just only when you have the wearables on the calls or some digital items in the app as an AR look, it's one thing, but when we start talking about NFTs, it's becoming something complicated, and people might be just scared because they don't have knowledge, and the knowledge is quite easy. It's just, for me, it's education. And there are some technologies which should adapt. Like we love AR. Julian is wearing hat, I'm wearing the earrings. We love our app, but we know that the body recognition technology might be better because our users, they accept the perfect match, the perfect fit of the augmented reality looks on their bodies. So we're working on that, and we hope that we will deliver the better results, even better results that we have right now. I think for me, it's the main challenges, and I'm sure that Julian has something to add here.
Yeah, I think it's clear that the level of expectation from consumers is higher than the progression of the technology. So this is where the mismatch can often happen. So a big part of our focus and our day-to-day is educating, and educating goes 2 ways. It goes educating the users, collectors, consumers, creators on like what's accessible to them, how to use it, and why it is at a certain quality or a certain price. And on the other end, it's educating also like the brands and the creators that are providing these solutions through our technology to reach their audience, explaining them, like how is the right way to communicate it, why you can digitize this asset, but maybe not this one, why this one should go into augmented reality experience, but this one should not because it's not adapted for it. And rethink the way their creative process is as well. Like, why will you bring the exact same white t-shirt from your physical collection to a metaverse space where you have freedom of virtual creativity, where you can animate your product and try to be a little bit more creative there? So like all of these things that needs to be done on the education part to reach a level of educated creators and educated consumers that will stabilize or optimize the market in some ways. Yeah, I think this is what the main challenges, because the technology, I mean, this is always progressing, so it can only get better, but it's more like educating and behavior of consumers.
Yeah, and do you think that the future of like gaming, VR, AR is going to transform fashion businesses of the future? Like we already see it happening, but I'm thinking, are we fully gonna progress to like going into the store, having a digital photo? Like, what do you guys foresee? I'm also curious to know, like, what is DRESSX plan to move forward, and where do you guys see yourself going?
I can start, okay, if you want. And first of all, like we saw as of last year, 75% of the Gen Z saying that they already purchased a digital product within a video game. And last year, about $1 million in sales of avatar wearables in Decentraland. So this looks small compared to the billion-dollar, like trillion-dollar industry of like the traditional fashion, but it just tells us that people are already investing money there and consuming there, and it's growing so fast that we see this becoming as the new product level of any like fashion house. Like, well, I remember when I was in fashion school, they show us the pyramid of fashion products for any fashion house. Top of the pyramid is the couture that is maybe super hyped but doesn't bring any revenue. And the bottom of the pyramid is perfumes and cosmetics, which is what all of like 30+% of the revenue of any fashion house is coming from their cosmetic and perfumes. And I believe that the next foundation will become digital products. And this is what will bring most of the revenue for any fashion house, because it's more scalable, there is a better ROI on it, and it will be something that is day-to-day consumable. So it will become a part of the product lines of any fashion house. And we can see this behavior already coming now via the monetization of wearables and gaming skins, via NFT collections, NFT drops. We saw Dolce & Gabbana generating a lot of revenue, about $6 million in their first NFT drops. So right now, we're still in the test and learn phase, but very soon we're going to get into the product launch and grow phase. And this is super exciting for us.
Okay, I can add, I absolutely agree with Julian, and the statistics he's showing is, we predicted some of the numbers from that statistics when DRESSX was started, like the total approachable market of the digital fashion. And right now, just during this year, Morgan Stanley and other big firms provided the same statistics, which is matching our numbers. And talking about this VR, XR, Phygital experience, we can see from the use cases and from the brands who are making this. There are more and more brands who enter in the space, and they're providing to their customers, proposing to their customers Phygital experience. That means that there is a physical item which you can come to the shop, you can touch it, you can try it, and at the same time they propose you an ability to try this item in augmented reality. They propose you to try this 8 items straight away with the Oculus in the virtual reality, and maybe if we're talking about some simple t-shirt or a collection of some very simple items, but they are elevated using the augmented reality. We're adding the animation and we are making the same physical item looks absolutely different in the digital space, because there is no limitations in terms of what we can do in the digital space.
It almost feels like that there's a complexity now with the, you have the physical business and you have the digital business, and naturally people who are working on the physical business are not schooled within the other side. So it's almost like these two worlds are merging and they're coming together to form like an extension or one. And yeah, I'm wondering what kind of projects are you guys excited about right now with DRESSX, maybe also looking forward in the future? Would love to hear that.
You said that there is a physical space and there is a digital space and we have to merge them. I think one of the excited projects we are doing with, and we curated this together with Julian, is this course. At the moment we are running this course internally just only for the SMOD, one of the most prestigious and well-known fashion schools in Europe. So we launched the course about digital fashion and digital fashion management for the students of the SMOD. And the purpose of this course is actually to bring the knowledge to those students who are studying about physical fashion, what they can do in the digital space, and to prepare them for this transition period. So they are going to be those people who will join the companies, the traditional fashion companies, and who will have already the knowledge from us, from DRESSX team, how we're building this digital space. And they will bring this transition and they will help with this transition. I think it's very important right now to educate those next generation of the people in the fashion industry and to shape this fashion industry.
Thank you for mentioning this. I think it's a major shift right now to see a traditional ancient fashion school in Paris like this to accept and give us this amazing opportunity to teach digital fashion to their current students. I mean, I wish I had such classes 8 years ago. So yeah, I think this is amazing. And we can see as well, just seeing the students so excited about this kind of learnings just show us, that this is really in a future execution of learnings and professional environment for this industry. And but the other main thing that's super exciting is that we released our new app yesterday. So if you have the app right now, you can just update it, or if you don't have it, you can install it. And we reworked the entire design and branding of the app, and we introduced the NFT utility inside the app. So something that was really important to us and still is, and will always will be, is to make sure that when you're an NFT collector, because you own the asset, you should have exclusive utility attached to it. And we enable that by connecting your NFT wallet via MetaMask integration inside our app, which enable us to recognize your ownership of certain wearable NFTs. And if you are recognized as an owner, you can then exclusively dress yourself up with that wearable. So other people can see it, but they will need to acquire the NFT from you or from someone else or from the market in order to access the wearable utility and create content with it. And that matters a lot because a lot of creators are publishing a lot of great augmented reality lenses on Snapchat and other places, but they are not making any income or revenue from other people using their AR lenses. And now it's a new way for AR creators to monetize their creations, and for owners of those creations to use them and showcase the ownership by creating content with it. So that's the main new utility we introduced in that app. I invite you to try.
That's amazing. Yeah, if I give my t-shirt to somebody, I want to make sure that at least I have ownership of the design if I came up with it. And maybe to sum up our amazing interview, how can a young fashion enthusiast, fashion designer join the DRESSX ecosystem? Like you mentioned the app, but I would love to hear some ways how they can really jump ship their digital fashion journey.
I mean, the easiest way and fastest way is to join us on Discord. I'll send you the link, if you want to put it in the description of that podcast. But join the Discord, and there is a channel in the Discord for creators who wants to collaborate. There's two kinds of collaboration. They can collaborate with other members of the community independently, or they can collaborate with us. And when a new creator collaborates with us, there's multiple ways to do it. And we are of course, we work with the Fendi and the Balenciaga and job, but we also are open to any creator. We really have 300 plus creators onboarded on our marketplace. And a lot of them are independent creators that just want to get into digital fashion. And if they have the technical skills to produce the assets, and if we can curate them, we'll be happy to onboard them. So there's ways to be onboarded by jumping inside the app with an augmented reality lenses, going into our e-com Web2 platform, setting out your own digital fashion collections, and being onboarded as an NFT creator on the NFT marketplace and selling NFTs. We're a little bit more exclusive on the NFT part, more curated, making sure that we onboard creators that are more familiar with the NFT industry and have an audience that is already existing. Otherwise, we're always open for like ways to collaborate with creators. So Discord will be the
Amazing. Yeah, we're going to link all of the links down below, and we really recommend you guys to check out the app and check out the DRESSX ecosystem. Olga and Julian, I really want to thank you for joining us today, and I'm really looking forward to what else DRESSX is coming up with and seeing you guys' growth. And yeah, I thank everyone for tuning in today's episode. If you guys want to get more connected with DRESSX or with us, we're going to link everything down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you in the next episode of NEWFORUM.